Hey guys, I've been gone for a little bit. I think it's been like a week now and I've missed you guys so much, but honestly I got super sick. If you don't hear my voice, I mean, I know my voice is normally raspy, but it's like really raspy right now, and this is significantly better than it was a week ago. But I got sick, I lost my voice, then I had to go to Disney for my birthday and my son's birthday. I honestly cannot believe that my son is 1 year old, but he is. Oh my gosh, I am profusely sweating. I mean, I'm always profusely sweating, but it's kind of excessive right now. So I got a comment on my last video that I posted wanting a review on the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I believe this is a collab with Alyssa Ashley, and so I picked up the primer and the foundation from Ulta. So this is the brand new portion of the video. I'm gonna try this, let you know what I think about it, but I also have a concealer, an under eye powder, an eyebrow marker. Like, I have some other shit to try that's kind of like been piling up. Sometimes I just get drunk and I order things off the internet, you know? And then I get it and I plan on doing a video and then I just don't. So I'm just gonna fucking do it all together. Anyway, let's just get started. I'm gonna moisturize my face. This seems like a very matte situation. Yeah, this says matte finish, 24-hour wear. Who the fuck? I mean, when am I gonna need that? Anyway, the primer also says matte, and honestly, I used to be a super matte person and I don't know what happened. I don't fucking like matte shit anymore. Maybe it's because of the age of the highlighter. It made me realize how much better my skin looks when it's dewy. Or maybe it's because after I had my son, now I have drier skin. So just hearing that a foundation is matte gets me a little bit stressed out, not gonna lie. But either way, I'm gonna moisturize my face, and I don't know if this is cheating because I guess this is kind of considered a primer. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, but I shit you not, this is not a primer, okay? I mean, I guess it is, but it's not, okay? To me, this is just like a moisturizer. It's just like a, oh, I almost dropped thank you, Zodiac palette. Fucking Kathleen. To me, this literally has the same consistency of like my night cream. So instead of using my moisturizer, I always use this before I prime. So I'm gonna be fair and do the same thing right now, because if I just put that matte primer on my dry ass face, I know I'm not gonna like this foundation. So I gotta make it work. So let's talk shade range really quick, because this has a fucking amazing shade range. If you look at the gradient, obviously there's less fair tones than darker skin tones, but let's fucking be real for a second. In every other foundation on the face of this earth, it is the opposite of that. NYX is technically a drugstore foundation, and I believe there's 45 shades in this foundation, so I really hope you're good. Because honestly, like Fenty foundation, I hated the Fenty foundation with a passion, like a burning passion in my soul. I can't even talk about it, I get really stressed out. Don't get me wrong, I like some of the other Fenty products, but the foundation was a huge miss for me. I'm not even joking, when I would put that foundation on, I couldn't even get it to blend right. I couldn't even get it to blend enough to wear it. Like, every single time I tried to put that foundation on, I had to take it off. My point is, I hope this is good because it has a really big shade range and hopefully it can work for a lot of people. Anyway, I've been talking for a million years, so let's just get on with the video. Okay, so we're gonna start off with primer. And can I just say, I cannot believe that every brand doesn't do this. Every brand should come out with a foundation and a primer that's meant for that foundation. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm just gonna put this on with my hands. Oh my god, it's so hard to squeeze out. Okay, I'm not just being dramatic. Do you guys see that? Oh, I'm like literally squeezing so hard. Okay, now it's coming out a little bit easier. Jesus, that first squeeze was intense. I'm not sure if this is too much. I'm just gonna put it in my fingers and feel it out. Oh, okay. What the fuck? Okay, this is so, I can barely even move my hands. I'm not like trying to be dramatic. Like, it does not glide at all. It like gets caught on my freaking fingers. What the fuck? No. Oh no. Did I not read the directions right? Apply evenly over skin and gently tap to set. Okay, it does not say how much you're supposed to use. Maybe I put too much, but it's peeling off. Like when I go like this and I rub my hands lightly, I'm not like pressing really hard. It's peeling off in little pieces. Let me run like a foundation brush over this and see if I can get rid of those little flakes. So right off the bat, it had a weird little cooling sensation, which I really liked. Like, it felt cold on your skin, which I was not expecting at all. But it dries down so quick that I couldn't even blend it in. Like, I literally put my hand on my skin and I couldn't rub it out. It was dry. That is pretty bizarre. So they're not fucking around when they say it's matte. I feel like it actually did dry down my skin a lot. Like, it does look more matte. And I was a little bit alarmed at those little skin flakes that were coming out. But just passing my brush through them took them off. So honestly, I'm not gonna like knock it that hard for that because it was pretty easy to get rid of. Okay, so I'm gonna do half of my face with a Real Technique sponge and the other half with my foundation brush. So the shade that I picked up is Nude. So this is a pump foundation, which I tend to like. And I'm gonna start with the brush on this side of my face. I have a lot of breakouts right now. I think it's because of the Dior Air Flash foundation that I was using while I was at Disney. I just broke out really, really bad from it. So I'm trying to build this up because on the first application, it's pretty light coverage. And even on the second application, my redness right here on my cheeks still shows. Ooh, no thank, oh. Let me turn down the light too so maybe you can see better. It just looks really cakey and uneven on my nose, and honestly everywhere else too. I'm actually, just to try to give it a fair trial, I'm gonna try to like bounce this into my skin with my sponge, even though I was trying to do the half and half situation, but I don't know, I'm kind of nervous now. It's just like swiping off, and I'm really not sure if that's the primer or the foundation. It will not stick to my nose. Like, I keep trying to put it on the top of my nose, and right here, no product is sticking. Let me zoom you in so you can see this. I'm not being like a fucking hater, okay? This is really fucked up on my nose. That was roughly around 1.5 pumps. I do have breakouts here, but I don't have a ton of acne or anything that I needed this to cover. Okay, when I applied over my nose with the sponge, it helped a little bit. The brush is definitely like a no-go. Like, don't even try it. Like, just give up on your dreams with the brush. I'm getting a little bit nervous at this current moment. This is very heavy, but I really want to try and show you guys what I'm talking about because, I mean, it's not that it's so expensive or anything. You can just go out and either try this or buy it yourself. It's not like you're wasting a ton of money on it, but I still do want to do like a fair review of this product. So I want to zoom you in. I want to show you where the problem areas are and what the finish looks like. In between my eyebrows, it is very, very, very heavy. And then for some reason, even though it got better on my nose with the sponge, product will just not stick there. And you could see my freckles through the foundation, which, I mean, happens to me with lightweight foundations, but not so much with like heavy matte ones. I don't know if it's because of the primer, because how weird it was, like that I couldn't really spread it out and I just tried to put it everywhere. Maybe I just missed that spot. I'm really not sure, but foundation is not sticking there at all. It just looks heavy, but I want to get my concealer on. I want to put on a little bit of powder. I really don't even think I'm going to set this much, but yeah, I do want to give this a fair shot. So let's move on to concealer. Okay, so this is the Laura Geller Filter First Luminous Concealer, and I'm going to definitely need some luminosity to my face right now because I feel like a dry fucking cupcake. I did let my friend use this, so it is used. I mean, maybe that's gross. Maybe I shouldn't be using it, but anyway, the little applicator looks like a boom mic, and it's one of those that you have to twist up, which I don't love. I do not like the idea of a sponge just sitting there collecting bacteria. Like, that's not necessarily my thing, but what matters most is the concealer, so let's just give it a try. Oh. In contrast to the foundation formula, this feels so lightweight, so thin. I'm gonna just bounce that in with my sponge and put a little bit on my eyelids as well. Okay, when I saw my friend using this, it looked way better on her, and I think it just does not mix with this foundation well because it's a really thin formula, and this foundation is so thick and heavy. It kind of just looks like I got a makeup wipe and like wiped around my under eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with my Tarte Creaseless Concealer because it's thick. This seriously feels like a lip gloss, and when I first tried it, I thought I was gonna fucking hate it, but it's actually pretty spectacular. Yeah, I think that did a way better job. Okay, so especially now that I have a breakout, I'm gonna do what I always do and get my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in medium. And I'm gonna go in with a sponge and basically just spot conceal any breakout that I'm having right now. And what I usually do in situations like this where like the foundation just does not want to stick to my nose, I'll just grab this concealer and run it over that area. I don't like to have to do that because I want the foundation to do the covering. Like, I don't want to have to go over areas where the foundation is being patchy. And as far as the finish of this foundation, I would say it's definitely like a hard matte foundation. As you can tell on my forehead, like this shit is matte and flat as a fucking wall. This is looking pretty horrible. Wow. In between my eyebrows is getting worse and worse by the fucking minute. My skin looks so yellow. Did it look this bad all along? The more I add concealer to try to spot conceal where the foundation didn't cover, the more heavy everything just gets. It does not blend well with my concealer. Everything is just looking a little birthday cakey right now, and it's making me really nervous. Okay, we're just gonna continue on and hope for the best because I can't even finish covering my acne. Like, it's not getting anywhere, and it's just getting too cakey. So I'm gonna have to leave it how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna try the KKW brightening powder for my under eyes. Oh my god, this is really hard to open. I just almost broke a fucking nail. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna tap it under my eyes to set this powder. Wow, that really brightened way more than I was expecting. There's like a tiny mirror on this shit. Who's using that? Well, literally me. Wow, that really brightened my under eyes. I mean, maybe too much. Maybe I look like a reverse raccoon right now. I mean, I feel like once I blend everything in, like my bronzer and everything, I feel like it might actually look good. Okay, wait, no, it looks fucking crazy in the camera. Maybe I got a shade too light. Why do I always doubt myself? Every time I want to say something nice on camera, like, wow, I think this actually looks good. In my mind, I'm like, no, it doesn't, you stupid bitch. I'm gonna set my face with this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. In my book, I consider this a lightweight powder. This is just one application. Normally, I'm dipping back into my fucking powder like a beast. I wasn't gonna set my whole face, but I kind of feel like I have to make it look cohesive because it looked like shit before. And that did kind of make it look a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna spray some Morphe setting mist. I usually always do this after powder just to make sure the powder like melts into my skin. I don't know if it actually does anything, okay, but I tell myself it does, and that's all that matters. It still just looks so fucking heavy. I don't know if it's because I put too much foundation on, I have to be honest, but I don't have perfect skin. Like, I do need some coverage, and the fact that my freckles were showing through, my redness on my cheeks, my old acne scars that are barely even visible when I don't have makeup on, like those were all showing through. I just wanted to keep building it up to try to get some coverage out of it. To me, this is not a very buildable product. It does look cakey when you build it up. Before we move on to the rest of the face, I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see after the spray how my skin looks. Okay, so I'm not sure if you could see just how cakey in between my eyebrows looks, and also like in the corners of my nose. And it does also look cakey on my chin area where I had to cover some of my breakouts. I would say my T-zone area the most looks really cakey. My forehead too just looks so unbelievably dry. But let's just move on to eyebrows. So most of you know, if you watch my videos, that I normally do eyebrows at the very end because I fucking hate doing them. I feel like eyebrows are the ultimate party pooper in my makeup routine. Like, why the fuck do you have to come, Becky? Nobody wants to fucking see you, bitch. I don't want to do my fucking eyebrows ever, so I always leave it for dead last. But the last product that is new, not new, well, new to me, is this Fine Sketch Tattoo Eyebrow Marker. And I see this on Instagram perhaps, I mean minimum, 15 times a day. And one day I decided, okay bitch, I'll fucking buy it. Leave me alone. It comes from China, so it took like a month and a half to get here. I hope I don't actually like this because then I have to order it like 3 years in advance. But the reason why I got this is because they advertised it as a super easy way to do your eyebrows, and that's what I need in my life, okay? I don't know how well my camera's picking it up, but it's like a little fork almost. And the whole purpose is that you can just draw hair-like strokes onto your eyebrows and you don't even have to like blend it. And then it's like super waterproof or whatever. So I'm just gonna zoom you guys in and give this a shot. The way I saw them do it in the videos, they started here in the inner corner of the brow and then kind of moved out. So I'm gonna start doing some hair strokes in the front. Okay, let me just keep going before I give an opinion. Okay, how am I supposed to do the outer edge? I can't do these little hair strokes. I guess I just have to draw it on. Oh boy. Oh no! Okay, I need a serious intervention at this current moment in time. I went with a really light hand here in the front, but those little hair strokes are bullshit. I mean, do they look like hair to you? Look at the bottom. What is that? And I did it as best as I could, I swear. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape and try to rectify the situation. Because if I were to take a spoolie and blend this all away, it defeats the purpose of the marker, and that's not what they say to do. So I'm just gonna leave it as is, but try to clean it up as much as possible with concealer to make it the best that it can possibly be. Oh no, oh no, oh no. When did that? I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, and when I come back, we'll just like chit chat about everything and how I feel about it. Let's start off with how I feel about the foundation and the primer. The primer, obviously, as you saw, it applies weird, and I really think that the primer might be the reason that the foundation just clumped up here and just in my T-zone in general, but also I'm not sure because I really only got to put on primer on like the outer parts of my face. So I'm not sure if the way that this looks is because I didn't get to really blend the primer well. I'm not sure if I should have done it with a brush, if that would have been better. Maybe I should have tried that, or with a sponge. But with your hands, which is what I always do with primers, it just does not blend well. So I really don't know if this is a result of that. In the end, my bronzer, blush, and highlight blended fine. My T-zone is just the area that looks like shit. It just looks really, really bad. It looks like I'm having a really bad foundation day. This is just not the foundation that people are gonna look at you and be like, oh my god, are you even wearing anything? Like, no. this is not it, bitch. You can definitely tell you're wearing a shit ton of foundation, and you're gonna have to wear a shit ton of foundation if you want any coverage out of it. My nose ended up looking a lot better than I thought it was gonna look. A lot better than it did in the beginning anyway. But I do still have the creasing in my smile lines. I do still have a very heavy look to my chin, and in between my eyebrows looks so heavy, so dry, so cakey. But it's hard to knock this foundation because it does have an amazing shade range. It is inexpensive, so I can't sit here and be like, oh my god, this is fucking bullshit, I can't believe I bought this, because honestly a lot of people are gonna get to try this foundation and maybe it works for you, but it didn't work for me. I probably will never wear this again. Okay guys, so I ended up wearing this foundation for the rest of the night, and this is like 3.5, 4 hours later. The foundation really struggled on my chin. Even with the slightest touch, like my son would just brush his hand lightly across my chin and it would completely just slide off. It did the same around my nose, and it just started like bunching up and looking really, really, really bad just 3 hours later. So I just wanted to mention that. But anyway, that's my conclusion for the foundation and the primer. Just not a big fan of them, but I still do have to try them separate. Let's move on to concealer. The Laura Geller concealer, I can't find it right now because I'm such a fucking mess. But the Laura Geller Luminous Concealer, I mean, it just didn't work with this foundation. I have to try it on its own because instead of blending into this foundation, it just kind of like slid right off. Right off the bat, I can tell you it doesn't have a whole lot of coverage, but I feel like now that it's so fucking hot outside, a concealer like that would probably be perfect for a day where you're just like spot concealing your face and then you just want to brighten up your under eyes. I could see that really working because when I try to do that with other concealers, you can definitely tell a difference. Like you're wearing concealer only around your eyes and everything else doesn't have makeup. So I guess there's not really a conclusion on that. The KKW brightening powder, I fucking love it. I think it's magnificent and I want to marry it. It is so thin. It doesn't create like a white cast. I mean, it does look brighter under my eyes, but nothing insane in my opinion. And last but not least, the dreaded brows. You guys, my brows look, I mean, so... Okay, they don't look the worst they've ever looked, let's be honest. I feel like where I actually tried to create the little hair-like strokes that it's meant to create, it just made the front of my eyebrows look so weird. Almost like there's little dots of product everywhere. It didn't blend nicely. It doesn't look like hair. And I was actually hoping that it would work for the front of my brows because I tend to fuck that area up a lot. But it didn't. It didn't give me that natural hair-like feathery brow effect at all. But I feel like it's the formula. I feel like it's so markery, like a felt tip liner. Like, how is that gonna look natural on my brows? But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope it was helpful. If you were curious about some of these products, please let me know what videos you want to see in the future. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!